Hi and welcome to this Yoga Habit Yoga Flow class. In just 10 minutes you'll feel better in your body and your mind and help to build your yoga habit. Today's class is a full body sequence focused on a cooling, calming flow, which is great in this hot weather we're having at the moment, but also brilliant if you're feeling a bit irritated or stressed. We're going to start with legs wide. If it feels like you can't sit up tall with your shoulders relaxed in this position, I'd recommend grabbing a blanket or a cushion. See, anything that works to lift up your hips so you can then sit tall. Place your hands on your thighs or by your sides. And I invite you to close down your eyes and start to notice your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Trying to draw your inhale down into your belly and exhaling fully. Just do that a couple more times to settle here, to put whatever's already happened today to you behind you. And if you've got your eyes closed, open them now. Place your right hand on the inside of your right knee, and as you inhale, lift up your left arm. As you exhale, hinge over to your right, allow your right hand to slide down the inside of your leg. Keep your chest revolved to the side or maybe even upwards here. And then sweep that top arm all the way up and down. Place your left hand on the inside of your left knee now. Inhale to lift up your right arm. As you exhale, slide your left hand down on the inside of your left leg. Try to keep your sit bones grounded into the mat, particularly your right sit bone here, which might like to lift up slightly. And then sweep that top arm all the way down. Bring your hands or your arms in a cactus position. Inhale to press back your elbows and your hands, lift your gaze to the sky. As you exhale, round through your spine, elbows and palms come together, chin to chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Notice the rippling through your spine. Inhaling to lift, really arching your back here. And exhaling to round, chin comes to chest. Inhale simply to come back to your sitting position, and then we'll come into a tabletop pose. So you can pop your blanket or cushion, if you're using one, out of the way. Come into tabletop with your hands directly underneath your shoulders, fingers nicely spread. We're not going to stay here though, we're going to tuck the toes, lift your knees, come into downward dog. And you might like to pedal your feet here, pushing the yoga mat away with your hands, really driving through your arms from your shoulders, and then come to stillness. Maybe you can have a good bend in your knees if it helps you to lift up your hips. And then on your next inhale, lift up your right leg towards the sky. As you exhale, bend into your right knee, bring your right foot towards your left glute. Inhale back to three-leg dog. Exhale to step your right foot forward, lower your back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands come to waist, straighten the front leg, coming into our half splits. Inhale, bend into your front leg, place your left hand down, sweep up your right arm, easy twist. Exhale, bring your right hand down, just bring your right foot perhaps cross to the edge of your yoga mat here, place both hands down, coming into lizard. You might start to bend through your elbows, deepening the stretch. Inhale to lift your chest away from the mat, tuck your back toes, and then bring yourself around so you're coming into a wide leg position. You're going to need to creep your right foot around a little bit. Bring your hands so that they're in line with your feet. Don't worry if they don't reach the yoga mat, they can be simply dangling like this. Inhale to lengthen through your spine. Make sure you're not holding your head up too much. As you exhale, allow your crown of your head to be drawn down to the mat. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Make sure you're not locking out your knees. With each inhale, can you lengthen a bit More through your spine as you exhale. Can you draw your head a bit closer to the mat? Bring one hand into the centre of the mat now. As you inhale, lift up the other arm, stretching it towards the sky. Maybe your gaze even goes to that top hand. Exhale, we're going to switch. Bring the other hand to the centre. Inhale to lift up the other arm. Exhale, switch. Inhale to lift. Exhale to switch. Inhale to lift. Exhale to bring that hand down. We're going to creep your hands around towards your right foot again. And then use the push of your left foot on the mat to push yourself to a standing split. Don't worry if your leg doesn't get very high, but try and keep this lifted left leg as straight as possible and draw the crown of your head down towards the mat again. Exhale to bring your left foot down. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, forward fold. And then place your hands down, bring yourself into a tabletop, and then through to a child's pose, either with your knees hip width distance or maybe you widen them to the edges of your yoga mat. Notice your breath. Trying to draw your bottom down towards your heels. And then lift your forehead and your chest away from the mat, coming back into tabletop. Next side, tuck your toes, lift your knees, downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift your left leg up to a three-leg dog. Try not to stack your hips here. Your hips should be square. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Left foot goes to right glute. Maybe your gaze goes underneath your left armpit. Inhale, back to three-leg dog. Exhale, step your left foot all the way through. Lower your right knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, coming into low lunge. Exhale, hands to the waist, straighten your front leg. Half splits. Inhale, bend into your left leg. Right hand goes down. Easy twist as you bring your left hand up. Exhale, bring your left hand down to the inside of your left foot. Maybe you move your left foot across slightly, coming into lizard. You can stay here with your arms straight, or maybe you bend into your elbows. Inhale to lift your chest upwards. Tuck your toes and start to creep your hands and your feet around to this wide-legged position again. Make sure your feet are parallel to the short edges of your mat. Bring your hands in line with your feet. Inhale to lengthen through your spine. Exhale to fold. Again, we'll take a couple of breaths here. Grounding through all four corners of both feet. Notice if your shoulders are coming up to your ears, can you relax them away? Bring one hand to the centre of the mat again. Inhale to sweep the other arm up to the sky. Exhale, switch. Inhale, lift the other arm up. Exhale to switch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, switch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, switch. And start to move your hands around to frame your left foot this time. Again, use your back toes, your right toes on the mat to push yourself off. Plant your hands just in front of this left foot and come into your standing splits. Trying to keep your hips square. Again, we're not stacking your hips here. Drawing the crown of the head down towards the mat. And then as you exhale, bring your right foot down. Inhale, flat back, hands on shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold. And then plant your palms, bring your knees down to a tabletop. And again, come into child's pose, knees hip width or as wide as the mat. Stretching out your arms. And noticing your breath again. Draw your inhale into your belly, but also your lower back here. Notice how that feels. Thank you so much for joining me in this yoga habit class, and thank yourself for showing up on your mat today. On your next inhale, breathe in peace to yourself. And as you exhale, breathe out peace to others.